Hi everyone, my name is Daniel. Welcome to Engelgeist, my channel. This is this is the weekly forecast for all signs. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. I greatly appreciate them. This is the weekly forecast for all signs. It is a broad spectrum reading, so you need to figure out if and where it fits in your life, if at all. If it doesn't fit, that's okay. It may just not be your reading. Don't worry, nothing's broken or wrong. It is originally created for the week of Sunday, March 26th through Saturday, April 1st. It is not solely set for that date, though. I do believe that readings can be timeless, so if you're seeing it at on a different date, by all means, utilize the reading when you're seeing it, if it makes sense to your situation. Some of you may experience all of these cards and then some. Some of you may only experience one of these cards. Basically, in the weekly, it's kind of take what you need and leave the rest. For those of you that are new, please check out my drop-down menu underneath any of my daily or weekly videos. In there is some information I want you to know about regarding the channel, housekeeping rules, what decks I'm utilizing, and how to support the channel. Great ways that you can do that. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, leave me a question or comment, or share the video out. I greatly appreciate all of that stuff. And beyond that, let's see what's going on with these cards. What do we need to know for the 26th through the 1st of April? And then we'll be switching decks. New, I didn't like that cut. Hold on, I'm going to shuffle again. That cut was sloppy. No sloppy cuts around here. We want crisp, pristine cuts. There we go. There's our card. All right, let's see what the beginning of the week looks like. Our first card out is the Seven of Emotions. We've seen this card before. It represents as the Seven of Cups. This can indicate confusion. It's certainly emotional confusion. It can indicate maybe feeling like we're not sure which route or path choice to make or thing to choose. We might feel emotionally befuddled or confused, essentially, by a situation. I feel like, though, to be honest, I don't know why. Normally, the Seven of Cups is not necessarily, it's not a negative card, but I wouldn't call it a positive card either, but I get a really good feeling from this. I feel like this is about options that we have, right? I don't feel so much confusion as much as, and I don't think fear is the right word either. I feel like there's a couple of options on the board for us early this week. And actually, to me, that feels a little bit exciting. If anything, there's a slight worry, not fear. Worry is the correct sort of feeling here. If I choose this thing or this path or this stance, this viewpoint, if I voice this, does this lock me into this? Is kind of the feeling that I'm getting from this woman. Like, I love that she looks like she's choosing from fish. But that's just because I'm a Pisces. But I feel like it's either worry or trepidation. Like, in other words, if I commit to this thing, is it the right thing? Is my feeling here. I don't get this sense of overwhelm or anything like that. It's more like a reflection or a moment of discernment might need to take place in the early part of the week for us to find the clarity around our choice or the self-assurance in the making of our choice. That's what I'm getting from this. This feels more about like the fact that we have options is a good thing. We might be worried that if we choose one option, we don't have access to the others, but I don't think that that's the truth. We'll have to look at the rest of the cards. I actually feel like there's a few things brewing here, and that might actually surprise us and turn out in our favor. And it's weird because I don't normally get this feeling with the Seven of Cups. This feels positive to me. I'm gonna just say that. We just don't know it. It's the feeling that I'm getting. While we're in it, or while we're making the choice, we might be like, is this the right thing? But it might be, and it's not. We may not be locked in. Let's look at the other cards. I just have this feeling that there's something else here underneath the surface that's actually a good thing. I want to look at the, okay, so we have the Queen of Voices at the bottom of the deck card. I just wanted to look at that. She's going to make the correct choice ultimately, so don't worry. That's the Queen of Swords, essentially. She's going to favor logic over emotion, but we might be caught up in the emotionality or a little bit of the worry, the trepidation, maybe slight fear of the wrong choice, making the wrong choice, or is this the best decision for me? We're going to solve that though with that Queen being being the bottom card of the deck. All right, so we have the Moon. More confusion. All right. So the Moon is associated. It's a beautiful Moon card, I have to say, and I like that it's big, bright, and pink. The Moon is associated with the signs of Cancer and Pisces. The Seven of Cups is obviously a water. The suit of Cups is the emotions or water, right? And Pisces and Cancer is water. I believe Mars goes into Cancer soon too, which is interesting to me because that's also, Mars is how we sort of fight, debate, the stance we take in arguments, and Mars is more of a fiery, forward, action, assertive planet, and Cancerian energy to me is far more nurturing, inward, not as extroverted as Mars. So they are kind of, not necessarily, I wouldn't call it in conflict, but they're kind of opposite one another. So that could be some of this emotional energy that's up for us. Making a decision. I feel like with this big, pink, beautiful moon, it's about, and also with the Seven of Cups being the lead card for the week, it's about following our heart. This moon, the pink color, is making me think of the heart chakra. And so there may be fear around trusting our heart or the desire of our heart. The one thing I do like about these women here is that, again, we have a three here, these three women. It's the mind, body, and spirit kind of coming together and living by this decision. Oftentimes with the Moon card, we have to trust our intuition over maybe our logic. What I like though is that when I looked at the bottom of the deck, it's the Queen of Swords. She's going to also help to balance some of this emotionality that I see in these cards, this indecision. We may not make this decision. I want to see the end of the week card and the clarifiers, but we may not make this decision this week, is my feeling. We could be really mulling it over or contemplating it, especially by the midweek. It's really present in the power of this Moon card, but it's about living by the truth of our heart. It's about following what we know to be intrinsically true, like in our heart, our emotions, and our intuition regarding a situation, a relationship, a person, however it manifests for you in your life. There is a commitment to be made here, that we may feel like we don't have all of the information, or that we might be worried that we could be, I don't know, vulnerable in a way, or maybe committing in the wrong way or to the wrong thing, without being able to see the full-fledged plan. That would be the sort of the obscurity of the moon, right? And that could cause us a little bit of worry. But I think that ultimately, if we are trusting our heart and listening to our intuition, we won't be led wrong. We just have to kind of let go and move forward, right? Let's look at the end of the week card, Eight of Voices. So as I say, let go and move forward, we get the card that is about feeling restrained or trapped, essentially. This is the Eight of Swords. It's a beautiful Eight of Swords, actually. And it's funny, do you guys see this black band around her eyes and then the white lines coming up from her eyes? It almost feels like that's the light of the moon shining down on her. This could be us having to face some aspect, indecision, or part of ourselves, some sort of truth that's deep within us that we are afraid of, that we have restrained or hidden away. I get this kind of almost sense of shadow work from this Eight of Swords. To me, this feels far more internal, maybe even mentally. This could be even our own limitations we place on ourselves through our mind and the thoughts that we think or the way that we communicate with ourselves. Like, I almost get this sense, because there's the Seven of Cups and the Moon and then the Eight of Swords, it almost feels like to me we may be examining what we want or what we desire, what we're committing to and how we're committing, and the limitations that we place on ourselves. Having to be forced to look at where we are in disalignment to that. I almost want to say where we're potentially lying to ourselves in some way, obscuring our truth that we know is there. I almost feel like that big pink moon says to me that there's a truth in our heart that we know we need to live by or allow guide us, but we might feel fearful or have thoughts within ourselves or communications. Maybe these communications can be outside of ourselves too, like from loved ones or relationships, bosses, whatever, that place limitations on us where we feel like we maybe can't move forward. But I do feel like there could potentially be an opportunity to break free of this. It just may not be this week. We might really be feeling the restraint or looking at areas where we really do restrain ourselves or short ourselves, limit ourselves. Now, this can be either us doing it to ourselves or outside situations doing it to us, right? Things outside of our control. But ultimately, with the Eight of Swords, is there's always this idea that if we change our thoughts, we can free ourselves. And the Queen of Swords, which is the bottom of the deck energy, which I don't normally look at, indicates to me that we will get clarity on this and we will be fierce and we will move forward. It just may take us a week. It's my feeling. We'll look at the clarifiers. Let's look at the Miracles Now card and see what that has to say. When I move my body, I bust through all that blocks me from my true health and vitality. It's interesting that this says, when I move my body, I bust through all that blocks me from my true health and vitality. And when I look at these three cards, there's definite blocks here. They're in their representation. You know, the Seven of Cups can indicate a block via the confusion that it may present to us. The Moon can indicate a block via the just sort of the obscurity of the darkness. The Moon doesn't necessarily always have a clear path. And then the Eight of Swords has a block in the sense that she's always like sort of trapped or bound by her thoughts. When I move my body, it's like I feel like that to me almost is indicating not only like the physical movement of the 3D, but it's also like the truth of the pink of that moon, the truth of our heart. When I move from a place of what is real for us, we bust through all that blocks us from our true health and vitality. I want to look at the clarifiers right now. Hold on. This is a really weird week. Queen of Swords. She's here, guys. I'm just going to bring her here too. Oh wait, sorry. What was that card? The Wheel. The Wheel of Fortune, which was underpinning the end of last week. Interesting that showed up. That was on the top. I meant to bring this Queen of Swords from the bottom of the deck. We've got the Queen of Swords here twice. She is here. This energy is here. This is about finding clarity for ourselves and freeing ourselves from something that has been limiting us in some way that has been maybe potentially causing us issues of feeling free, feeling healthy, feeling I don't want to say alive, because that sounds almost like a cigarette commercial, like alive with pleasure. But it, it's like this is the week where we're really faced with what holds us back and the potential bravery that it's going to take to move forward. The Queen of Swords has that bravery, that logic, that wisdom. But we're faced with, throughout the week, questioning that, potentially doubting that, but I certainly get that we are feeling it with that moon card in the middle, and we're definitely feeling it with the Eight of Swords at the end of the week. Then we have the Ace of Swords, and I'm just going to go for the third card because I just want to see with the Star. So everything will be okay in the end. The Star is a sense of peace, calm, contentment, tranquility after the struggle of the Tower, right? This is not by any means a Tower moment, I feel like, this week, but we're looking at where we are limited in our thoughts, in our beliefs, in our, like, almost like where we stop ourselves from living our best life, from really truly loving the life that we have. What are the things that we're telling ourselves, either subconsciously, which could be the moon, or mentally, which is the Eight of Swords, or even emotionally with that Seven of Cups? Where are these things affecting us in ways that aren't necessarily serving us, right? Finding the truth around that, because that would be all of the Swords energy here, especially the Queen of Swords, but that truth of the Ace of Swords indicates that this new truth comes forth, and from this new truth, we are able to bust through the blocks, literally, into the peace and awareness of the Star. It just might be next week, guys. Let me go to the grounding stone and see what we need to be grounding in during this week, during this process. Okay. The word is forgive on Tiger's Eye. We may need to forgive ourselves, a situation, another person, how we feel, what we think. The truth of maybe what we've been denying, that we've quite possibly, with this Queen showing up twice and the Ace of Swords there, says to me, and even the clarity of the Star, it says to me that we've known this for a while. Even that big pink moon says to me, I just keep getting this read that, like, in our hearts we know the truth, and maybe we haven't been living by that truth. And in doing so, that has maybe taken a toll or an effect on our health, our vitality, our zest, or our love of life. And so we're faced with, as we go into spring and as we go into forward movement with Aries, all the planets are forward moving, nothing's in retrograde. It's time to move forward. And to be able to move forward, we do need to be at peace within ourselves. We do need to forgive situations that have held us back, or that we've, had made us feel lack, or anything that's gone on previous that has placed, sometimes situations or how things play out, we can think that we were deserving of that for some reason, or tell ourselves that narrative, and it limits us. We don't realize we're placing that limitation on ourselves. This is the week to realize that and begin to move out of that, to begin to forgive the situation, to find that forgiveness, to attain that freedom and cut ourselves free, and to have that peace, harmony, healing that the Star represents. The Star is my favorite card of the tarot. And it's Aquarian energy, which is also air energy. There's a lot of, the Two Swords cards and the Eight of Swords and the Star card here, and seeing the Queen of Swords twice. There's a lot of air energy, how we think, what we communicate to ourselves. Is it bringing us peace? Is it imbuing us with more health and vitality? Or have we been listening to voices or dimming down the voices? And that's been keeping us restrained. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. Like, I almost feel like some of this is self-induced. And that moon card to me represents that there is like really a truth deep within us that we've known. And it's time to let that truth surface. And we might be fearful or reluctant to do so, but we need to. It's like, I almost get this feeling with that move my body, I bust through the blocks, it being about health and vitality. It's like, we need to give ourselves this gift. We've been denying ourselves for too long. And this gift will bring healing and peace within us at a very like profound level, clarity, truth. And we might need to, through becoming aware of how we deny ourselves, either emotionally or mentally, or, you know, cloud our vision, or make excuses for others' behavior, or whatever it is that we've been doing, we may need to forgive ourselves, other parties, whatever that is, but that allows us to become free. It's going to be a very interesting week of cards, I have a feeling. It'll be interesting to see what comes out throughout this week. This is, to me, this just feels like some very deep work is about to take place. And from that deep work, or from that self-awareness, we gain a very profound, new, fresh perspective that brings us unheralded amount of grace, peace, even maybe for some of you a new lease on life, or how you see your life and where you fit in your life. I hope that makes sense. Please leave me a comment if it does, if it resonates. Please hit the thumbs up button, you guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and follow me this week and let me know if these cards are your cards, because somebody's about to go through a profound moment this week. All right, I love you all. Take care. Bye.